Hey guys, we'll be ready in just a minute or two. AR, why don't you say a few words?
I was playing a Dune board game, and I feel like I should make my intro Dune related, but I don't know crap about Dune, so
Just say something.
I
Just say something about Command and Conquer. It's close enough to Dune
okay.
because the Command and Conquer games grew out of the Dune games. So if you make that
Yeah.
connection, it's good enough.
Mm.
Dev will be joining us mid-show as she's working. So we'll wait to make sure they can actually hear you, which they can, but I can see it. But just in case,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying these calmer times after the movie. I
Yeah.
will say this, I'm very happy when the calm times hit, because literally, right when the weather started to wreck my hands, it makes more detailed typing hard/painful.
Oh, what'd the temperature get down to over there?
It's not specifically the temperature, it's the mix of temperature, humidity, and that my OCD means I don't like creams and stuff touching me.
Mm.
So it's just fucking wrecking my hands completely.
Yeah. It's not bad right now. It's up to
Yeah.
33
Yeah,
degrees,
like not
so.
like not this year, but in past years, people have seen my hands and actually asked me if I was a member of a fight club. And that's the most hilarious true thing that's happened. But
Hmm.
but this year it's getting me like right around the index and pointer. Okay, they can hear both of us.
I have a feeling I know one of your answers for one of the questions we've got later.
Uh, there's a
'Cause
few
that
of
was
there's a few of these that I have good answers for. If I'm trying to
I
see which is the one that you think the.
because it's the one I was gonna use for it, so.
Hmm. Well, see, I know the funniest one because I actually have an answer to give, and you would think I wouldn't.
Oh,
The
yeah.
the funniest
Okay.
one I actually have a
Yeah.
good answer for. Okay, you ready to
Mm.
go? And Dev will just join
Uh,
us mid-show.
mhm.
You're doing the same thing I am, grabbing a drink.
Grabbing a drink. Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, I run with the will and produce Digimon on Blu-ray.
And I'm Ara Palver, just letting the spice flow.
Dev will be joining us mid-show as she is still working. It is a nice, calm week. AR, how has the last 2 weeks been for you?
It's been alright. We got our tree up, it's right in front of me. It's probably causing some sort of feedback issue. It's great.
Is it a fake tin tree then?
No, we have an actual tree. It's an actual spruce. Nice little 5-footer.
That's nice. Uh, I'm enjoying a bit of post-movie calm, aren't you?
Yes.
Because we are
Which for me means not really paying any attention to Digimon for a
we
couple
we are
weeks.
we are literally in the only time for roughly the past 9 years when we don't know exactly what is coming. There are some things coming, but we don't know how big they are. We don't know if they're going to be the big thing. It is the first time in a while where it's actually like, oh, it's just a bunch of little interesting stuff.
But it's also great because with the anniversary coming, we know there's something on the
Well,
horizon.
and see, that's one of the questions later. Let's hold off on that
Yeah.
because
Well,
there's
we'll
some
go
fun stuff.
into that then, but it's
Yeah.
like it's not we know we're not getting nothing.
But I mean, is we're not sitting here going, "Oh, we know there's a new movie or anime coming." There's
Mhm.
certainly some interesting stuff, and I'll actually say this: Seekers was interesting for the last 2 weeks.
Interesting. I'll give you interesting.
I tried to be positive. I tried to be positive.
I mean, they're moving, they're going somewhere.
I actually like the last few chapters because it's the closest thing that I enjoy, which is it stops with the pure exposition and it's character-based exposition.
It's the plot's going somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Although they really do want to hammer it into us, he's just like AG. Wink, wink. They real
like
they
except he was able to land a girlfriend.
well was
I said was.
to be to be fair, it ended with a coma, so we'll see where that
I
goes.
mean, still counts.
Uh,
Someone give him the cake.
uh, so this one also solidly reveals what I think we all thought was that the person who was giving him the test and everything was actually Tartarus.
Yeah.
Doraemon
Not a
has a great
cheap shot.
personality, by the way.
He does, yeah.
Doraemon's already like this is already like the best version of Doraemon we've ever seen.
That's not hard to accomplish,
It's
but
not
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not, but it's also to the credit of these two chapters where a lot of times in Seekers the exposition does not play off the characters well.
And he has a nice rapport with Lugamon, which is appreciated.
Yeah. It,
It's
it
good to have someone play off Lugamon in a way different than Eiji does.
yes. Um, this is basically detailing everything that in theory has been hinted at without actually telling us what he does or doesn't know in the end. We just know what he's sharing with AG. There's a lot that could be misdirection, but we'll see. It feels like he's being honest, and that kind of makes me go, I don't know if I trust this shit.
It's yeah.
It's very forward for a story that has tried to play with, oh, well, something different happens than you expect. So it makes me a bit distrustful.
Mhm.
But I'm happy with both 3-10 and 3. They're basically two halves of one scene, honestly.
Yeah, I'm a little weirded out by the idea that they're like prioritizing Leon
Well,
is
see,
what I gathered.
what I gather is they're prioritizing Leon. Well, they're prioritizing Leon because they have an idea where to go, even if it doesn't make sense.
Even if it's the far more
Yeah,
dangerous
the Black
place.
Agumon. It feels like the idea is it just randomly appears then vanishes, so there's nothing to do. I also feel like there's a bit of an unstated thing that Kosuke doesn't know if this will actually work,
Mhm.
and he's not willing to use it on her first.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and here's the thing: they have not said that. It's just a weird feeling I get where he seems far too open to trying it on
Yeah,
Leon first.
but there are other DMIA people though.
But
I
it's not.
thought
But
that
it's not clear that they have access to any of the Digimon, or
okay, yeah,
frankly, the people. In the case of Leon, he's not in a secure place yet.
right.
So that's another reason why you may go with Leon first. For he's functionally passed out in a hospital. She's off in a lab somewhere that's max. I think they said it was maximum security. He hasn't been able to
Yeah,
go there.
they can take their time. It makes sense logically, but emotionally,
Yeah,
I'm not as sure about it.
it feels like we need more from Kosuke about it to make that click, because instead it's just sort of he's just okay with it, which makes me go, oh, he's willing to risk Leon but not her, when that may not be the intent of. It's just how it feels because he's way too happy to not test it on her.
Yeah, that's like if because that's the thing is like if this was a surefire thing,
Oh yeah,
I mean
he'd
the
be
whole thing,
rushing.
the whole reason SOC is exists is that he's hell bent to
Yeah,
get her back,
but he's
and he's
also
like
he.
we can do a quick little side
No,
test
no.
first.
See, that's where I go is he. I don't recall if he even says anything about it once Leon's mentioned. He kind of just lets Ag go along with it, which means either he doesn't know if it works or he's just lying to him to get him to help. And I'm
Let's
not
hope
sure
it.
which.
Yeah, well, you certainly hope it's something deeper than that, and that
I
there's hidden motivations.
I'm happy with both of these segments as they are, but it's also very easy to do it in. Seeker's issue is not that it has bad characters. It has good characters. It just does not use them.
Right.
So it stopped for two segments to have two characters. Functionally, this is the scene from X-Men with the chess, with the glass cage,
Yeah.
except they're in the
Yeah.
room together. This is just two characters having a conversation, which works great. But now that the cops are showing up and they're gonna have to run off and do shit, I need to see this continue the quality because this is much better than what we've seen. I have doubts if this will work once we get to action though, because
It
that's
is
where
weird time. It is weird timing that the cops are showing up right there.
I feel like we're supposed to take this all as being concurrent with what Yulin was with the professor.
Yeah, yeah. It's just the fact that AG was out for so long, and then Kosuke shows up, and then the police show up like at basically the same time.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's just
That's
here's the thing: if it is some, we need to know sooner rather than later if it's some sort of trickery.
yeah,
Finding out in 3 months when the story is about to end that it's trickery will not be acceptable. If it's
yeah.
trickery, we need to know soon.
This is where it wouldn't be bad to have a scene next session or the session after that where Shu's on the phone with somebody going, he wasn't there. What's up with that?
Yeah,
Something raising attention to the police call
yeah,
with the actual police officers.
yeah. That's I would agree with that. Is we need some sort of clarification if anything's going on, and if not, then it's almost too straightforward, honestly.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I will say it is kind of endearing that Lugamon is so hell bent on helping a friend that he barely knows.
Yeah. Yeah, the Lugamon aspect is the probably the least convincing of them. Like all the other
Well,
three.
I think it works when you remember they've kind of played with the idea that Lugamon almost doesn't act in a way you'd expect a Digimon to act. He's almost more like a puppy.
Yeah,
So in this
I
case,
guess.
it's a puppy who found a friend, and the friend vanished, and he wants to go find his friend.
Yeah, I still think it's the weakest motivation of the
Oh, it
four.
is. I'm just saying I like the way he's borderline hell bent on it.
I do love that he has a fear of needles, though. That's kind of fun.
See, I barely remember that because I can't get the image out of my head of the cartoon needle, where like where they have the image and it's just like a flat 2D high
Yeah,
resolution. It just
it's
was
an
too.
icon. It's an
Yeah,
icon of a syringe
yeah.
in.
Yeah, that made it a bit too easy for me. The fan art they're getting more and more random with. Last week they put up the article thing for it, but there were no updates. This time they did, and there were 2 images updated.
Mm.
So yeah. And then Dreamers is back, and oh man, is Dreamers so good.
Well, they jumped into it right away.
It's funny. I remember like 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe a month ago, Tenya Bruno was like, "Oh, I'm going to have to start drawing again soon for Dreamers." And
He did.
yeah, and it's like, damn. It's like I wonder if this is like where he intended stuff to happen, or if he just changed where it was going to because of this big moment of it coming back, because it
Mm-hmm.
really does feel like a natural big moment.
This is this like
Yeah,
it feels like
yeah.
start of season
Um,
2.
big action. Lots of characters declare stuff. The imagery is cool. The funniest moment is the battery mode where it's literally just him hanging on his head. We get
Yes.
we get a cameo of Medieval Gallantmon.
Yeah, that's
Um,
cool.
and then we get to actually see Bulkmon.
Yes. That's big.
Now, think about it. This is a gag manga. This is just going by chapters, not real world time. This
Mm-hmm.
is a this is over a year and a half
It's
of stories
yeah.
to get to the first evolution, and it feels like a strong moment. And we didn't even get to see the moment, and
Mm-hmm.
it still feels fulfilling.
It's given how much had come before that, it feels very impactful.
Yes, and
Like this
I'm
is it's like holy crap, everything's different now.
and I'm almost surprised it feels impactful because you don't actually get to see that moment. I was surprised we didn't get to.
Well,
Eh,
that's because it's kind of sudden and a little uncontrolled,
no,
which is
I
adds
know,
to
but
the
I'm
impact.
saying it's such a moment, especially for a comic where the entire idea is he can't.
Mm-hmm.
And
He can't, and then suddenly he
now to be
did.
clear, that moment could be the evolution, but the idea is that it was him attacking in the prior page. We just don't see him.
Right,
And then we
right.
see everyone's shocked look at it actually being Bulkmon.
Mm-hmm.
And
And it's great because there's so much potential follow up here. It's like, okay, he did it. Can he sustain it? Can he
yeah,
do it
yeah,
again?
we don't know what this
Yeah.
actually means. And it's great that they don't really hint at
Yep.
it either so far.
No. No, they ended it exactly where they wanted to for
Yeah.
a chapter. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, boom, he did it. Good luck figuring out what happens next.
Yeah, I really hope when it's done, we get some sort of collection, either physical or digital, to buy it because it really is worth buying it. It's something I want to support to tell them, hey, put more of this shit out because we'll buy V Tamer, we'll buy Next, we'll buy what
Mm-hmm.
all the other crap they'll do. Do an English collection of the dojins that they put up from the
Oh
contest.
yeah, yeah. I
Do
want to read
just
those.
do. Here's the thing. Literally, uh, I'd say the current translating team's doing a decent job. I'm not going to say perfect, but it's decent enough. Get
This is fine. This is good.
Here's what you do. Get them. First of all, obviously, make sure you have the license to do the dojins. I assume Bandai's legal stuff is all tied up
You'd
for that.
expect that, yeah.
Translate it. Just do like an $8 digital volume or a $10 digital volume. Done.
Yeah.
I'd buy that. Tons of people would buy that. So Dreamers is now back on its normal schedule of once a month. We only got it once a week because they were doing catch up before the new chapters. Um, Very exciting. I'm really happy with where we are at for the first chapter back. It got a couple extra pages. I don't know if I expect that to continue. I feel like he got a few extra pages from them since it was coming back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm ecstatic about that, honestly. And
Let's
then
go.
we had some site downtime on Thanksgiving. Hopefully that's dealt with. If not, we'll
It's,
see.
server took a holiday.
Well, the issue is mostly the actual like server plan and everything is functionally the same as we were running for basically the last few years of Try. So even via any growth, minus the occasional hiccup now and then, it's basically been running as is. this doubled some RAM on some database stuff, so hopefully that will take care of it. If not, we will see. Yeah, I'd been manually restarting certain things late at night to make it more invisible, and now it's just been upgraded. So hopefully that takes care of it. And then we got the fan screening event they did. This one was fun. Did you see the stuff they did for it?
Some of it.
Okay, so they do the live commentary by Taguchi.
Mm-hmm.
Ayumi Miyazaki comes out, sings Braveheart and the version of Beat Hit from the movie.
Yep.
And then fans were told to cheer. And then you hear the Digivice noise, and art of Daisuke from 02 appears, and it's Reiko Kikuchi doing the Daisuke voice from the original TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Doing a little skit with the Vmon mascot in the audience. Basically doing a little skit as intro for the corner where, everyone who was there comes out to do a little Q&A and stuff. They do a
Yeah.
lottery for prizes. Miyazaki pops back up for breakup. And they finished with messages from everyone. So the sound director said it was nice to hear everyone, on stage. It was fresh for him because you don't often have the sound designer at events like this.
Right.
Taguchi, now here's the thing. This is where he either knows nothing and he's just saying stuff as a fan, or he's being a jackass, which a good jackass, because he's done this before where he acts like he doesn't know what's going on. And he said, next year will be the 25th anniversary of the TV anime Digimon Adventure. And as a fan of the series, I am looking forward to many exciting developments, so please give it your support. Now, here's the thing. He's a reasonably clever guy. I have no idea if he knows something or not based on his wording.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Tochika, who's Hawkmon, said he hopes to continue to voice Hawkmon even after 10 or 20 more years. Let's meet again sometime. Mao said that it's not often she pops up for, post-film events like this, so it was nice to do. And then the final two messages were from Katayama Noda. Katayama said, I'm proud that we're able to create a work called Digimon with such warm fans, these people, and the staff. And Noda said, grateful they were able to have a fan meeting to celebrate it doing well. Thanks for its support. She believes Digimon will continue to grow, so continue your support. Nice little event to cap everything off. They actually noted this was 2 years ago. They meant to do something like this for Kizuna, but COVID meant that wasn't going to happen. That's why we
Yeah.
got that weird event where they did like the commentary over the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Taguchi, Hiromi Seki, and was it Kenji Watanabe, I think?
I don't remember.
I think it was him. But yeah, so that was good. It's still very strange to think we actually got an 02 movie. New DigiGift wallpaper. Great art.
I've got it on my phone.
I like how this time the logo they found a good copy of. The art, the compression is nice. The actual calendar looks like fucking shit.
Nobody uses the calendar.
Still, it looks exceptionally terrible this time. Especially the left side of it. It looks busted. But Ken and Minomon is a great pair. I love the little hat on Minomon also, and the bow tie.
I hope they keep doing this next year.
We get them. We get them at least through April.
Okay.
Man, it's almost like they set it to end right when they can do an anniversary one if they decide not to continue.
Gee.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get more of the 15-second analyze. Paildramon, Hawkmon, Aquilomon, Tailmon, Andromon, Sylphimon. Sylphimon was weird because at one point they made it private for like 2 or 3 days. So at one point I was finding like the image that I used for the article box to send to Law, so he had something to put there, and then it went back up after I sent him that. So a bit odd. These have been nice. It really feels like these are so short that having someone dub them over in English would be such an easy win.
Right?
Because literally, you just like you don't need to call someone to studio. Just do it from their home studio. Anyone associated with the brand in any way, and you can just have them do like a stack of them at a time and release them once a week in English. And then Cardopalooza. They've been
Ugh.
going so Armadamon and Patamon. These are both gorgeous cards, frankly. Like just gorgeous. Um, it's strange because these do not match like the other partner ones from the set,
No.
where they did the style of the
Very
two movie cards, but still the
pastelly.
gorgeous. Ankylomon and Angemon. So what's weird is Ankylomon, it feels like we're supposed to take him as spinning,
Yeah.
and
He's doing the tail hammer
and
thing.
Angemon is kind of dashing downwards. It's good art. It's just kind of a weird angle for him.
Yeah.
Dice Game Ken, great card. I believe we saw this one in V Jump. I think.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Let's see. Shakumon, Chibimon, Minimon. Shakumon looks fucking amazing. I love any time when Shakumon just like looks like this imposing, crazy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Chibimon and Minimon cards are both great. Although there is an issue with the Chibimon one. It feels like if you look at the Minimon one, you can see that it's clearly meant to be a Chibimon card. If you look
Mm-hmm.
at the Chibimon card, you could argue this is a Vmon card.
Yeah.
Also got that.
There's like
I'm
a
not
bunch
saying
of
I'm
other
not saying that tiny motherfucker's name.
Damatakachiman or whatever the
Yes.
heck it was.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Holy Angemon. Uh, great card. Not overly exciting because it feels like we've gotten this pose with Angel cards a number of times.
Yeah, whatever.
Then we have Slash Angemon. Did you see the? I believe I went to sleep a bit early that night, or that was when the site started to go down. So it didn't get posted along with the fun. When this went up, people are going, "Oh, see, it's canon, it's canon, it's yeah." Then they got burned an hour and a half later when they show the Vikemon Ace card from the set.
What's canon now?
Yeah, they see it's people argue about canon too much, and we enjoy arguing about canon. People take it too seriously sometimes.
I don't. I generally don't take any notes from canon from the card game.
No,
It's a
yeah,
good tip.
that's
Just don't
that's
don't read into it.
that's the best tip. The card game has nothing to do with
The
anything. It
the
is a
card game
it is a
is
card game.
designed for the card game.
Then we got Shakumon X, Gesomon X, and Divemon. Shakumon X, the issue is it doesn't feel like he's different enough to be dynamic in a card.
I mean, the
Gesso
original Shakumon's just so incredibly dynamic, and this is just sort of okay.
Gesomon X, I don't dislike it. It's just too standard, and it feels like we've seen it's a storm, it's going after a boat.
It's
A-
somehow too plain and too busy at the same
And
time.
Divemon's just fucking awesome.
Yeah, that one's solid.
This is this is great.
I like how the other Digimon there, and then Pulsemon is there for some reason.
Well, he has to be there because it's his evolution.
Oh, that's right.
So
I forgot about
they
that.
have to stick him in it because of the relation.
Yeah.
Then we get Publimon with a small little audience.
Finally, an Atmon card gets released.
This is such a weird fucking card because it's almost disinterested in being card art. It feels like it's scene art meant to set something up. So it's just really weird. Let's see. Namakimon and Shootmon. Digimon love throwing their poop, don't they?
The
And
Makemon.
Shootmon kind of continues the theme of having random cards in the set feeling like it's Jet Set Radio.
Yeah.
Let's
Well,
see.
just want to do it with.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Poromon and Upamon both look great. It feels like it's different camera angles from similar scenery. Not the same shot, but like similar.
A little bit.
Let's see. The Miyako and Hikari card's great. Does it feel when I look at the Miyako and Hikari card first? Does it feel like someone told them to smile and Miyako wasn't quite ready?
Yeah,
She looks very
it's
uncomfortable doing that smile.
yeah, it's a little. They look awkward
Yeah.
in this.
And then God knows this translation isn't correct, but Beast Form Storm of Love using a screen cap from the ED, which
Yeah.
just does not look good.
No, the screen cap
I
ones
keep
rarely do.
I keep desperately wanting to go and get the screen cap out of my files from our version to see how it looks.
You would think that a screen cap from the ending, where it is just images just images moving and not like actual animation, they'd find a way to make that look better. But
Oh, these do
no.
these do move.
I mean, they move. They're not like in motion. They're just panning, like zooming
Yeah.
in and out of.
Valkyrimon Ace looks great. There's nothing overly special about this art. It just looks really good. And then this is sometimes when we get cards of a character who doesn't show up a lot, people get confused. They're like, he has a crossbow weapon. Yes, he does. Very interesting angle, I'll say. Then Sheepmon and Manta-Raymon. For some reason, I just love the Sheepmon art. Him putting everyone to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And the Manta-Raymon art, where someone went, let's do art of Manta-Raymon.
I'm
Iori
glad someone did.
Iori and Takaru get art that's of Iori. There's nothing interesting about this art specifically. Like, there's no interesting poses. There's nothing for us to nitpick like Miyako smile. It's just Takaru standing there with his hands in his pocket, and Iori doesn't know how to pose, so he's kind of crossing his arms.
So it's very on brand for anything Iori related, is what you're
Yes.
saying.
And then for Ancient Angel of Steel, we get the same screen cap for them, and I can see the composite rainbowing in the screen cap. I could see it on Shakuamon's collar and around his
Shouldn't
eyes.
be that hard.
And then Ukomon, being Ukomon.
That's Sucremon, all right.
Yeah. Then Louis. Louis actually gets good art. I only realized this from comments on the forum and social media. Apparently, a lot of people did not realize he had an eye patch.
Does he? Didn't. Yes. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. And then we can't really hide this fellow anymore. We did our best when they did the reference book. I put up the Ghostbusters shot. We won't comment on what Big Ukomon is, but we can't really hide that he exists anymore. It's sort of like the Bond forms last time.
Yeah.
We could hide Morphomon, we couldn't hide them.
Yep.
That's some nice creepy art from Keiji Watanabe, where did he draw the eye where it specifically looks like it's staring at us rather than anyone in, like,
He
fictionally in the
sees
art?
you.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, Zenmetsumon. I will say this. This is where I think sometimes when they do a complicated design, it doesn't work well. This looks like such a mess in card art.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's cool, but if you actually stop and look at the character art, a bunch of people only just realize now that he has the 3 horns from Gamamon. Because of how complicated the character art is, they didn't notice before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then we get Hagurumon X, who gets a shot of Hagurumon X floating there. I mean, here's the thing. There really isn't much to do with him. He's
Only
just a
one.
floating thing. I love the art,
It's
though, honestly.
it's
Yeah.
it's not even that. It's a little. I guess it's a little pointier with the
It's
drill
it's
bits,
it's
but
it's basically its profile art. Then we
it
get
it
Hell Lugermon, which great dynamic art. Is this one of the we don't normally see him standing up, do we?
no. It's a weird pose, but
It's
it's okay.
it's very explosive.
It's
And
still
then
cool.
we get a really cool pose with Solugamon.
Yeah.
That's great. Though there's been a weird thing in this set where characters who have well-defined attacks in their profile stuff, they aren't using them here. They're having them do entirely different stuff. Like there's
Don't hate that.
I don't hate it. It's just especially interesting with new characters where like it specifically mentions he does have his Vernier boosters, but like I believe one of his special attacks is launching his blade. And instead here it has him thrusting it. It's just a bit interesting that you're showing characters to some degree for the first time for a lot of people, and you're not showing like their dynamic special moves.
Yeah,
It's a bit odd in
true.
that case. I don't hate. I mean, I love the pose. And then, God bless him, Demon Wolf of the Castle of Nine Wolves. It's that poster art we've seen for half a year.
Yeah,
This would be much cooler if it was like in the first set of stuff we got for Seekers.
yeah. At
Now
this
that,
point, you
yeah,
could do better.
especially since like, I mean, even we use this art as stand-in a lot because it's just weird for them to use it. Then we get Doraemon, Darugamon, and Kosuke, which is weird. I thought when I translated it would be Tartarus. Um,
Nope.
both I fucking love the Doraemon art so much. It's so great. Darugamon's nice. It's just not as nice as Doraemon,
Right.
but I'm very happy about it. And Kosuke is Kosuke.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Doberman, Sarubamon both get really nice art. It feels like these are part of a scene. Someone said it was probably them chasing after Imperial Dramon for firing at their castle. Because the first one, it's Doberman standing there guarding the castle, looking upset, and the second one, you can tell like the castle's on fire, it's evolved, it's pissed off. I saw a
Bet he
few,
gets tired of that.
yeah, I saw a few people say this, but I don't remember where I saw it first. But yeah, that's a great one. Pheromon, I like. It's not super exciting. It looks really good for Koki. Doing a lately, he's been little bit less puddingish.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and it feels like it works really well for the cards. Then we get Tyrant Kabuterimon. Don't you love?
Mm.
They love to use that fake head.
Yes.
They love shoving that as forward as possible to look dynamic, and they go, it's not actually his head, you know. Great art. He's not really doing anything though. It's
Yeah.
art. It's art that makes you want to think he's doing something, but he is not. Blade Kuwagamon, we get a whole little group of them, which some they're not doing anything super special. It's a basic swarm thing that's mentioned in their profile, but I like it. And Meta Life Kuwagamon is interesting because have we seen him dual wield his attack before? Because like his profile art's doing the one hand.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember
I
what all he did in like Hunters or that stuff.
yeah, he must have done it in Hunters. I saw this. And it's like weird. I'm so used to seeing that one image with the one hand that it felt odd. Ko Kabuterimon. I like how every time he appears, it's like in a pseudo hero pose with the scarf going in the wind, and then Tyrant Kabuterimon blowing stuff up. I did complain that he wasn't doing anything last time.
That's something.
I'm just looking at it and going, it's funny. There's like 3 or 4 different faces on this motherfucker. Uh, Doraemon has the best weird art ever.
Yep.
Like it's weird because they give us a weird camera angle, but it looks great. I
It
love it.
works for him
Yes,
somehow.
yeah. And then Dorugurumon gets. This is meant to show like off his size. It feels almost a bit too claustrophobic.
Yeah, that's too much.
Like I understand what they were going for was they want to have him feel large and everything. It just
Yeah.
feels closed in and weird.
I mean, I also think Dor Greymon is kind of an awkward design in general. So
It is. Then we get Doragoromon, which I mean, this is his attack Brave Metal. It's just great art of him, honestly. It feels like this is art that we're going to see on a playmat at an event.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get to see his attack, Doradin, which is him screaming, basically. But very nice. It's always weird when you see like the big Digimon. You expect them to get like pseudo-realistic art, and here it's kind of cartoony and fun. And then parallel cards for Starter Deck 17. Man, those are all solid color cards, aren't they?
Yep. A lot of green.
Then we get Saint Galgomon playmat, which I really like.
Yeah.
That Rapidmon card, since they don't do, since they started doing that in the Bielismon deck, it's so fucking mean. You buy the deck, and that one card may be swapped out for a nicer version if you're lucky.
Worth your money.
Dev is here.
Even
Dev has arrived as tired as always.
more so than usual.
And then we have packaging for EX06 Infernal Ascension. I love the Angemon Devimon back-to-back look.
Devimon has no ass.
To be fair, he's kind of like a wrapped mummy corpse thing. So it makes sense.
He has no ass.
And that's why Angemon won't look at him. He's like, you have no ass, I'm leaving.
I'm sure. What kind of ass does Angemon have, though? Let's be real.
And then Booster Set 17 on March 29th. See, this is the type of thing where had they not announced they were doing a big card game thing, I would go, this almost feels like it could be the end with what they announced for the set. Okay, so it's called Secret Crisis, which in anything comic inspired, having the word crisis is never a good idea. So first off, strong Digimon from movies get ace cards. Level 7 Digimon like Omegamon, Shine Greymon Burst Mode, and others. Movie opponents like Armagamon, Eosmon, and Manoa will also appear. The climax of Digimon Seekers, Fenrir and Lugamon, Chaosdramon, and Kazuchimon appear. A special victory conditioner added. They're like, oh, it's kind of like what Apocalypse did that one time. I take that as anime, not card game, since I don't believe Apocalypse's card did anything like that. And it's like, Diablomon appears with this strongest power. It's like, it definitely feels like, because I believe this is the last set for year 3, and then they move to the year 4 marker. So we will see what changes. As multiple people have noted, there is no mention of if this has anything from whatever they were going to announce soon is there. It definitely feels like this is the end of something, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's a very specific lineup. Like
it's they're going for something climactic here.
Let's see. Tame Battle Pack. It's been a while since we got a Battle Pack. It's been like half a year. I think this is the longest period we've waited for Battle Pack, minus, I think, some early COVID stuff. So we get Chikuramon, Greymon, Agumon, and Gumdramon. I love that Gumdramon art.
Gumdramon, yeah.
That's the VIP of these.
Oh, absolutely.
And the winner's card is Greymon. I do give big credit to the Greymon one. I like the coloring, but it feels like Cross Wars Greymon. You want a bit more cartoony.
Yeah.
And Chikuramon is Chikuramon. Agumon, I need to see more high resolution because the art style is very gradient based on purpose. I need to see this larger because it looks very dynamic in coloring, and I'm not sure I can judge it properly low resolution.
That's fair.
Then Card Battle has been doing basically green matches because they're having that event where you can only use green cards.
It's a fun little thing.
And then the Quest shop opened up. We went over the products last time. The prices are mostly solid. I've gotten multiple messages from people trying to figure out if they order the bromide from an intermediary, what happens. Because that's the product where theoretically you do a quiz to decide which you get. And yeah, it's basically, I don't know. I assume an intermediary, minus like a specialty service, like a more fan-based service, would just refuse to do the quiz, and then you'd get the basic one. But I don't know. Yeah, so this is until early January. I love that the password to get the free sticker for Digimon Partners is Digital Gate Open.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute as shit.
Yeah. Products for this one are, I like when we get stuff that are slightly different. And also there's a big pillow. And we also get art for Louis and Ukomon.
That's actually adorable.
Louis is dressed as detective I don't know, and Ukomon's just happy to be there. I don't know who Louis is supposed to be dressed as.
It is the outfit's not only vaguely familiar.
Yeah, the coat. The coat reminds me of someone. Like in my head, I see someone doing like a pose with their one arm forward. Like, stop there! I will defeat.
It reminds me of Keisuke from Hacker's Memory. Maybe that's
I think
signing up with Kyoko's detective agency.
No, you know who it reminds me of? What's the motherfucker from Yu-Gi-Oh?
Kaiba?
Yes, Kaiba.
Does have a little Kaiba in it. That does look like a Kaiba coat, yeah.
Yeah, so the quest shop is open. Tokyo Tower stuff ended. They put up the stuff online to buy, along with a few more detailed shots of a few products to show off how they looked. Prices at these are actually identical to what they were at Tokyo Tower.
Nice.
So these are only available until the 28th. So if anyone wants them, nab them while you can. Every time I see one of these, I'm like, man, I'd love one of those fucking mugs. The problem is there's 350 milliliters
tiny ass mugs
in ounces. I want to see. Yeah, that is an 11-ounce mug. That is not an acceptable size for coffee or tea for me.
Not enough.
The same thing happened to me one time where I ordered like this really cool vintage looking Portal 2 mug, and it was so goddamn tiny. It was so tiny. It was like barely bigger than a shot glass.
So my small mugs are 20 ounces, and I have a bigger one that I don't use anymore because it has a small chip. It's like a 30 or 40 ounce mug, and it's the Hulk. Someone got it for me as a gift.
That is fitting.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, but I got one of these Digimon mugs once. I saw it and I went, oh, I have to have it. And I got it. It's just like, it's literally like my hand grabs it and it's the ant joke from Zoolander. It was one of the it was one of the color change ones where like it's like
well, guess this is gonna be a pencil holder.
Yeah, it's like it was the Digi eggs, and when it's warm, it changes into the babies or the rookie, the champion, the child level. I don't remember which, but like it's like 9 ounces or something.
Congrats, you have a thimble.
Yeah, basically. Yes. I actually don't dislike the shirts. I don't like the back design though.
No, the back's ruins it for me.
The back I would like if someone told me that it's the ink injected ones and not just like not latex.
Vinyl.
Yeah. The thing where it like makes you sweat and it feels weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That would be vinyl print.
Yeah. I like the ink injection. The problem is almost no one says what type of stuff. Like, I will buy almost any shirt if it's the ink type. I don't care. If it's the vinyl, it's just not comfortable for me. I know a lot of people don't care.
Considering that it's on a black shirt, I'm pretty sure it's probably vinyl.
Yeah, I assume so too.
Which is a shame because the front's really nice.
Yeah. And then poll results. Oh man, is anyone shocked that Andromon won this one by almost double second place? Oh. Which was Holy Dramon?
God.
I am winning in particular.
And here's the funny part. Tailmon's in 7th place, but is only 2% lower than Holy Dramon. If you want to know how, like, the high up thing. Even Metal Edomon had a good showing at 8th place with 5%.
Titty supremacy.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
A number of people seemed shocked that Hercules Kabuterimon didn't win, and I think we all kind of went, it was going to be a Tailmon.
Yeah. Like, congrats on getting third, man, but
Yeah.
this
No,
wasn't this wasn't fair.
That's not a bad placement, to be quite honest. This poll was your favorite Digimon from the Digimon Pendulum 1.0/1.5 Nature Spirits. We can expect 5 more of these over the next few months.
Woohoo.
There, I will say this, there's some nice placements in this one, like Piccolomon showing up relatively high. I would not have necessarily called.
I think it's just pretty popular in general.
But yeah, Angelomon. It's funny. There's so many of them. It doesn't feel like she stole it, but
No.
she absolutely
She fucking
did.
dominated.
Yeah, there's just so many that everyone got a few points, except Gekkomon, who only got 1, and Tonosama Gekkomon, who only got 1, and Otamamon, who only got 1. A lot of people were shocked
Those
Gatsumon was so
failure
low.
frogs.
Gatsumon being low is not a shock because
No.
Gatsumon is a Digimon people like. It's not a favorite, though.
Gatsumon is the ultimate Digimon.
It's like if it was Gotsmon and Pumpmon. Yes,
As a
those are
team,
popular.
yeah.
By himself,
If it was just those two in a poll, Gatsumon would be second place. And then we have a new poll, which I think this actually, when does this closes soon? This closes, about 9 days, so it's actually not soon. Favorite Digimon in the Angel Army. Now, I can always tell when people decide to comment on social media without reading the article. So I'm going to read the poll description, which, I translate. Digimon known as the Angel Army work under the 3 Archangels to maintain order in the digital world, and 3 new Angel Digimon were added to the group in B Memory Special Selection Volume 2 Holy Wings. Who is your favorite Digimon in the Angel Army? Please choose from the 11 and vote. People kept messaging me asking, well, why aren't you including Seraphimon? 1, I'm not doing it.
Oh.
And 2, you see where it says they work under the 3 Archangels? Seraphimon is not part of the army that works for him.
You're voting for the employees, not the CEO.
Yes, basically, there's the 3 bosses up arguing, and then these are the people who they send off to do shit that they can't bother doing. This one's
the choirs of angels and
this one's interesting because it feels like this is more wide open than normal.
It's a little bit because there's a few of these that are all reasonably popular.
There are, but even
there's maybe 4 that are in the running.
See, I don't know, because even some of the less popular ones, because any given poll, if you don't get more casual fans going and doing it, I could easily see a weird one where people go, oh, it's Diminamon. I love Diminamon because I love V-Tamer, and vote for him. I don't expect him to win.
What I did.
It feels like the winner's going to be Angelomon, frankly.
That or Holy Angemon. One of those two.
One of those two.
Probably. There's a few weird ones that I could see slip in somehow, though. I don't know why.
Congrats on last place, Pidmon.
I don't know why. I'm just so amused that Clavis Angemon and Slash Angemon are posed back to back.
Weird team up.
Yeah, exactly. And Diminamon standing there staring, going, "What are you two doing?"
That's the Dogma reboot. Is those two? As Affleck and Damon.
I feel like Clavis would be Affleck.
Yeah.
And Slash Angemon's Matt Damon. Oh, fuck.
You didn't say God bless you when I sneezed.
And Luxmon's just happy to be there. If you look at all the art, a lot of these people are serious, or they're posing trying to get votes, and Luxmon's just hi.
He's just there.
He's just awkwardly waving. It's and I'm here too.
Yeah. Then V-Tamer, we had Tenya Yabuno and Hiroshi Izawa post that they went to get dinner to celebrate V-Tamer's anniversary. Yabuno noted it was actually the day after. He did not clarify if he meant when they went out to eat or when he posted the photo. And Izawa posted His first time getting this specific regional variant of Korean food.
Okay.
It appears to be crab of some sort.
Nom, 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 nom,
The
nom.
Toei Museum changed their sort of guest pamphlet map thing, and they showed it off with the Vmon seal added to it. It feels like for a promo photo, shouldn't this be straight?
Maybe they're trying to be edgy.
Then you have to make a Vmon X to do that.
It's a lifestyle shot.
Tokyo Tower collaboration ended. They put up one last photo where all the stops for the little stamp game they were doing, they posed together. See, I look at this, and you know what my first thought is, honestly? I wonder if these are to scale. It feels like they aren't because Iori's too tall. Like, Iori's almost as tall as Miyako. That doesn't feel quite right to me.
Yeah, that's he's on.
Well, actually, if you look at his feet, he's just a little bit higher off the ground than where hers are.
Yeah.
Are you saying Iori wears lifts?
Yes. Lifted it straight into the air.
Yeah, and then the stamps are no longer the stamps are no longer being used at the Toei Museum. I think the movie corner is still there though, at the moment. So they kind of showed that off. Then we get an Xmas tree. I like how they're just pulling out the same, like they have a box of ornaments they've gotten. I believe these are the same Tamers plushies they've used for 2 or 3 years. And I like how if you look at them like, oh, Kulumon's at the top and he's happy. Terriermon's there, Renamon's there. Lopmon looks annoyed and is going to become Cherubimon and kill everyone.
I feel like I should find the plushies that I've got with chains on
and
them.
Leomon's just happy
for fun.
And Leomon's just happy he's not dead yet.
Leomon, yeah.
But Lopmon looks upset.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Lopmon just looks like, well, this is life now.
And then Toei likes to show off, they have that big chalkboard that they have for guests and for promotional stuff. They point out that that specific day they had a lot of guests from outside of Japan. So lots of fans of One Piece and Digimon, so they actually put up more images than normal, showing off everything. I love the Gomamon head. There's a Wormmon head. There's the Agumon top. I think that might be a Botamon. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
It's a bit hard to tell.
It's pretty vague.
There's a random ass Pokeball.
Oh, there is. Yes, there is.
Right under
Tony.
I was gonna say right under Chopper, but being drawn cute even for him. Then there's a Patamon on the other side.
Yep.
There's a lot.
Oh, there's a couple Choppers.
There's a lot of little art on here. They're all very good though. I love the Goku on the cloud, on the Nimbus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad they showed more images than normal for this because it looks so good. And then we got art. They put up to celebrate December, cold weather, Vmon, Gomamon, and Karamon getting ramen being happy. And we get an Appmon cameo.
Other little see this is the way they should have been using Appmon since it ended. Just have them be random app icons on other people, on other series phones. That's what I always I would have been satisfied with that.
See, I keep trying to figure out, is there a reason for these 3 Digimon? You could say it's a
Gomamon's weird.
Yeah, if it was Vmon and Karamon, you could argue it's a movie theme or something. Gomamon makes it a bit weird. Not that I'm upset he's there. I love that he's there. It just kind of makes me go, what is the actual theme?
I mean, sometimes they do just like to stick 3 random Digimon.
Yeah, but they group him and Vmon together as ramen connoisseurs. So now I'm sitting there thinking, did he say try the ramen?
Naruto.
Yes, and
Naruto,
yes,
yeah.
and Naruto also.
Yeah.
But yes, he was bringing Joe ramen and try.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm going with Naruto.
I'm going with both, frankly. And the Appmon cameos because they can legally use him as a sticker.
That's what you use for the app icons. It's a
I know,
Kurorimon reviewed.
that's not his icon.
Well, I mean, it's it's just you can use that. This guy's Purorimon approved.
Yeah.
That's how you sneak those guys in there.
What did Purorimon's icon look like?
I don't remember, but it's not quite as good as like a Yelp sticker.
Yeah. Oh, it's the yellow one with the fork and knife.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you want the Purorimon for.
And then time for questions.
For the TripAdvisor window sticker.
You guys in chat can start throwing your questions up. The first question someone sent was, it feels like lately people have gotten more upset if things don't fit. Now, this is my emphasis, the lore, but also the lore seems to be worded how they want it, and I was wondering what you think. That is generally how lore wants, is people only take it seriously if it's matching exactly what they want. The lore does not fucking matter. The lore is a tool.
People use the lore to justify what they want to think, to what they want to
here's
the elements of a franchise they want to be respected.
Like, here's the thing. Lately, people have gone, oh, they should have done what Kakuto wanted. It's weird because for 25 years, I've listened to people bitching about the guy nonstop.
Right?
About his lore. And now that they can, like, use it to beat someone else over the head, they're like, oh, they should have listened to him. It's like, motherfucker, you've been bitching about that epilogue for...
Yeah.
2.5 decades.
Literally as long as it existed.
We've been bitching about the epilogue this whole time. Now they're actually kind of doing some fun stuff with it and playing with it the way they should have.
And now they're like
unhappy.
And now they're like, no, they can't do interesting stuff. It should be Taichi goes off to war like Kakuto. It's also worth mentioning, even when Kakuto quote unquote reveals that lore, he himself pointed out they made it never intending it to be used. The entire reason you could, and that's the So it's very interesting when lore does that. I also find it to be lazy. I don't have to deal with it, so I can just have it be whatever. And here's the thing about lore is it is a tool. Any franchise can, will, and will ignore lore if it's necessary to tell a good story.
Yeah.
Digimon's done it. In fact, Kakuto's done it himself.
Absolutely.
The novels do not match the anime when they are explicitly intended to be quote-unquote expanded versions of it. There's stuff that cannot fit.
Yeah.
Just have fun and enjoy your cute little creatures turning into bigger things and blowing each other
It is good if things match. It is not necessary to match weird, vague, oh, this was written in a story Bible but never used, or was the imagination of someone. Like, no.
Then it's not, that doesn't count.
Like, the common one that I've seen a lot over the last month was, well, Kakuto intended the prior kids to be in 1998, and for there not to be any Digidestin before then. It's like, I don't give a shit what he cares about. It's interesting, but that's not what happened. The fact that, like, and you have to remember, he gets no say anymore because he chose to walk away. Now, he had valid reasons to walk away in his mind, but that also means that he does not get a say anymore. He has declined being involved.
Also, he was like, he walked away because he understood the rules. Like, he understood this completely. It's like, they're going in a different direction. I'm okay.
I'm
going to respectfully bow out.
The respectfully feels like you need air quotes.
I'm going to bow out.
Yes. But also have to remember, he's not the creator of Digimon either. He's given a lot to the franchise. Like, that is an insane amount. But he is not I guess a good example would actually be Star Wars. George Lucas decided to sell it because he was tired of dealing with fans and didn't want to leave it to his kids because he didn't want to burden them with it.
Gee, I wonder why.
And part of that agreement was, and this was actually in the contract, they did not have to use any story treatments he gave them. They could, and there are certain contractual stuff that they have to do. They do not have to do anything he wants. Everyone has agreed on that, and this is actually, Lucas is a great example. People like, how dare they not respect Lucas' work? Like, motherfuckers, I've seen you guys bitching nonstop since episode 1 came out. Don't act like you were gonna like whatever Lucas did for the sequels. I didn't like most of those sequels. I guarantee you, whatever Lucas did was not gonna make you happy.
I liked about half of what they did in the sequels. I'm in a weird place with Star Wars.
Everything after the first one does not exist.
Here's my view of the sequels. The one that people seem to like the most was the derivative, completely shit one.
Gee, I wonder why.
The Force Awakens has nothing in it. It is just, hey, This is other Star Wars movies mashed together.
I've had zero
Yep.
desire to watch Force Awakens.
It's...
I mean, as much as like as much of a problem as flawed as Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker are, I'd much rather watch those two.
The
again.
Rise of Skywalker was so unfulfilling to actually go in theaters and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I'm absolutely best of the three for me is Last Jedi because they tried to do interesting stuff. It certainly has a lot of problems, but God, they tried stuff.
You know what's funny is I think about all the Star Wars movies that came out since Lucas sold. You know what I actually think was probably the most entertaining, if maybe not, if like near the bottom quality wise, was probably Solo.
Lego Star Wars.
Because Solo is kind of just a weird old serial shoved into a 2-hour film.
Yeah.
Like it's terrible in the sense of like we don't want to see a nice looking Millennium Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
And did you guys see the wiki argument about Lando Calrissian?
Mm-mm.
No,
I've been pretty. I just kind of detached myself from
Star
Wars
this was just like 2 or 3 months ago. I saw it on Twitter and I just lost my shit laughing. Someone, and it took time for this to be removed because there were arguments about if it was accurate. It's like Lando Calrissian, what it was like a 5'8" dark-skinned man in his 20s, and then in his 30s he grew a foot and his skin lightened, and then it's like, motherfuckers, you don't need to put in explanations for there being different actors. Like they were actually saying like somehow his skeleton grew and his skin changed colors. And it's like,
oh God.
Yeah, it's like, and that somehow that stayed up for a bit because they're actually arguing about if it was accurate. It's like, that's so fucking stupid.
This is why I don't do Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, there's the movie. Like, I enjoy the movies.
Yes, I enjoy.
I don't want anything. I don't want anything else. Like,
I like someone in chat just like to what I just said because it doesn't make sense unless you like stop and process it.
I will admit, Dev's right. The Lego stuff is kind of fun though. Some of that.
I need to try that.
I watched the Lego Holiday Special.
I need to try that newest Lego Star Wars game, that fancy one they did like a year or two ago. It looks good. Then someone wants to know, did we buy anything from holiday sales?
I bought a Vital Hero for my kid.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's $20. It's not bad.
Random discs and games on Steam.
Yeah, I bought one Steam
realistically,
game.
I'm going to get a couple of random discs because holy shit, Princess Tutu Steelbook.
Oh, I forgot.
Ooh.
I sent you that Sentai sale, didn't I?
Yes.
And then you cursed at me.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff in that sale if you scroll to the bottom where some of these
I know, there's so much cool shit that I like.
But some of the stuff they must not be renewing licenses because have you seen that some of those sets are $5? It's literally like there's a bunch of Blu-ray sets that are like $5 or $10. Those are literally like get them the fuck out of our warehouse sales.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, there's some good stuff there. Random stuff is going. There should be no more big announcements for this year, right?
Don't jinx it.
The answer,
God damn it.
The answer to that is who knows? Like
you just jinxed us.
Yeah, you have to remember, because they are gonna tell us something about that card game thing. We don't know what. We could get. Here's the thing. Toei has other films in theater, so they could decide to quicken up the home video release, so we could get an announcement before the year's up. We're not going to get where people keep going like, oh, it's definitely going to be on Netflix or Crunchyroll before the end of the year, right? That's like,
oh, good God,
no.
No.
They could announce home video for Japan, but yes, the question is what do you think big is a more important part of this question? Because, if they announced a home video release, I would consider that big. A lot of people wouldn't.
That's probably as big as we can reasonably anticipate, I would think. I don't think we're getting anything massive.
I don't think
we're gonna.
The only mystery.
I don't think we're finding out what's next, except for maybe the card game thing.
Well, no, they've said they're gonna say something about that in December.
Okay.
So, here's the thing: is that just a card game thing? Is it a video game component? Is it something. Who knows what that could actually be? Is what I mean.
Right.
Like the words that pop up on screen, like metaverse, that could be story stuff, or it could be they're going to announce a video game with a VR headset that you do on the PlayStation. It could be any number of stupid things, or it could just be a story component for the card game. So we will see.
Hell, it might be another arcade game.
Oh God, I don't miss those. Here's why I don't miss those. Those are annoying to get information on.
Yeah.
Because remember, most people are like, oh, Atmon's card game didn't last a long time. It's like, motherfuckers, there were 2 Atmon card games. One of them was just really connected to the arcade game, so like it was hard to get. Like, I think a lot of people don't realize how much Atmon actually had for that year.
They really cranked a bunch of crap out.
Yeah, like there were 2 card games. There were the home video DVDs and the rental DVDs, which use different covers. I kind of want to check Mercari or somewhere for a used set of the rental DVDs to see if they're the same discs. Because I'm stupid enough to actually consider doing that. I don't think I will, but I've looked once or twice.
It's tempting to be thorough.
Then someone asked, you've talked about media literacy. It came up a lot with the new Scott Pilgrim based on how people reacted. Are there any titles you see as a good way to see how people react based on media literacy? It's worth pointing out the Scott Pilgrim media literacy thing was not actually based on the new show. It was based on the creator of it commenting that one of the things they decided to do when making the new show was that people did not notice that from the first page of the comic, they kind of say Scott's a jackass.
Yeah, I mean, that's a comment on the lack of media literacy people had towards the original stuff.
Yeah, it's not the show itself, it's that they decided to see what wild swerves they could do to make it more obvious.
Yeah, with the new stuff, I think the media literacy is more... I mean, I think a lot of the criticisms are based on the expectations of what it was supposed to be, and I think those are, like, if you didn't know what was going to be going in,
and here's the other thing.
Fair.
There is some, I would say, they know what they're doing, and there's some cowardice in facing it. I think there's some stuff they kind of go, we need to deal with this, and then the dealing with it is kind of like a blink and you miss it, and it's kind of cheapening out on actually dealing with it.
A little bit, yeah.
That definitely happens a number of times.
I'd forgive it, though. It had Bubblegum Crisis music. So.
Are there any titles you see as a good way to see how people react based on media literacy? There's a lot of good. I mean, here's the thing. It happens with Digimon all the time. Just a few days ago, I saw someone like, oh, Kizuna is about them losing the ability to evolve. And it's like, what the fuck?
What?
I mean, that was the reaction Dev gave when I showed her the person talking about it. It's like, you missed the entire fucking point.
Like, did we watch the same movie where...
Yeah. There's a lot of weird ones.
I completely understand it. I think half of the people who complain about Try swear never actually watched Try. But
like, there's a lot of media where people watch it and they miss it completely. The most famous one, I'm pretty sure we've mentioned it before, is Wall Street.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Where Michael Douglas has talked about people coming up and like businessmen coming up and shaking his hand because Gordon Gekko was their hero, and in his mind, it's just like, did you watch the movie?
Right. Like, I think American Psycho's in that box too.
Yeah.
Fight Club is obviously.
Yeah.
Fight Club's a really good one.
Yeah. I know lately one of the newer shows, I haven't watched it, but I know some people are completely misunderstand The Boys because they think Homelander is admirable.
See, I don't even need to, like, here's the thing. I never read the comic. I know what the comic was about enough that even the small clips I see, it's all super obvious. But it's like, but it's like, people are really misunderstanding what this is about, to the point that anytime I see anger, I go, they got to one of those plot points in The Boys when they're no longer being clever and they're just having someone go nuts.
Flat out explaining that these guys are the villains. Yeah.
I would disagree, Cruz. That's not He's saying it's not. He's saying that's misinformation. That's them misunderstanding things happening because they don't have the media literacy to understand. Like The Boys is a good example of that. It is very, Well, I'm not going to get into spoilers stuff, especially since I don't watch it. But yes.
Yeah, I don't watch it either, but it's like every clip you see, it makes it perfectly clear that Homelander is the bad guy, and people are like thinking he's a good guy somehow, or
Yeah.
thinking he's somebody to admire.
Or the example that I like to use was that one episode of since we're talking about Star Wars, that one episode of The Mandalorian where it's all about finding Boba Fett. He gets to the planet. Oh, this guy who has Boba Fett's armor is not Boba Fett, but he'll get the armor from the guy. Boba Fett died years ago. And then he goes riding off with the armor, and we see a man looking at him through binoculars, and he turns around and walks away, and it's Tamora Morrison. And a lot of people went, it's a random clone trooper we've never met. No, you motherfuckers. He played Jango Fett. He's Boba Fett.
God.
Like here's the thing. If you don't know who the actor is, that's fine. But if you can identify him as the guy who plays the clones and Jango Fett, the logical conclusion, whether you know who Boba Fett is or not, is, oh, that's Boba Fett.
Yeah.
It's not just some random clone trooper watching from the distance without any armor decades later. It's the guy the entire episode was about. Let's see. Did miss any other questions in there? Anything we want to see from the 20th anniversary, specials, toys, whatever. I would just like to see stuff we can get.
I want stuff I can watch or read. That's always my criterion. I think 25th anniversary, I'll be disappointed if we don't get anything in that nature.
I would love to see something like J Novel Club license the novels.
Ooh.
And I say J Novel Club because that one's self-serving, because I occasionally do work for them, and if they did an audio one, I could help.
Yes.
Oh my god. Hire me to read that.
Yeah, I would love, like, J Novel Club, 7 Seas, anyone, just do, like, here's the thing, you don't even have to do physical, just give it to me on digital. I'd be happy with that. Just give me book. Give book.
Ready thing,
yeah,
please?
Exactly. I'm always happy when we can see affordable stuff that's easy to get, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, some of my favorite plushies are like Crane game only, and they're a pain in the ass to get a hold of. So
Matthias brings up a good point. We're talking about the adventure one upcoming. He mentions he's surprised they never got an official 20th anniversary mascot. I'm not, because of what was happening at the time in the franchise. You had Ghost Game running. You had an upcoming movie that hadn't quite started the marketing machine yet, but was happening. They were doing various events. They did mascot costumes for characters who hadn't traditionally had them. Throwing in a random new Digimon and trying to, like, power it through when Gamamon was the focus would have been weird as far as marketing goes.
Yeah, and they didn't really do as much as they probably could have with, like, Zubamon.
Yeah.
So
instead we got new Digimon that, like, meant stuff for fans, like Shinmonzemon.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great one for fans, but you can't really market around that character successfully. No. But I think it had a lot of I think like having it on the V-Pet, having it on the Vital Version, I think that meant a lot of stuff to a lot of fans, honestly. So it's one of those cases where, like, like when you have the TV show running, it's going to clash in a weird way. And that's part of why, like, Zubamon didn't have much to do, because Zubamon was kind of there when you had both Agumon and Gatchmon doing stuff. So, like AR was saying, you had Zubamon for the 20th anniversary, but he didn't really do anything.
Yeah,
it's not like Pac-Mon.
Yeah, Zubamon was basically, I'm the 20th, and that was basically it.
Yeah, that's it. I don't remember him in, like, anything else. I mean, I'm sure he was in a few V-Pets.
He showed up in the games a year or two after that. But yes, he functionally had no anything. At the time, the focus was going to be Gamamon, and they did the mascot costumes for Vmon and Gilmon. There just wasn't really room, because remember, they were also doing Frontier shit. And honestly, it was kind of nice that they were doing Frontier shit, honestly.
Yeah.
We got
what would fans really like to have more? Is more Frontier shit, or this new Digimon that they're trying to get over just for commemorative purposes? Like, give me more Frontier stuff.
And I will say, though, I love that without knowing it, we actually got our first whiff of Seekers at the 25th Anniversary Museum. Because remember, they showed that the quote-unquote prototype Digimon dock, and it was like, it's weird, and we were like, this isn't a prototype from 25 years ago. Maybe it was some sort of test bed for the 20th anniversary ones or something. And it turns out that no, it was them doing a mock-up for Seekers, which was kind of neat. Yeah. So I can understand why you're surprised by it. It was just a weird time. We'll see what we have in, getting close to 3 years actually. But yeah, so for Adventure 20th Anniversary, we just want stuff. Last call for questions from chat. Do we know if anyone tried to order the ice cream or sake from outside Japan? So the ice cream, no, not that I'm aware of. The sake, 1 or 2 people have told me they were able to place orders for them. At least one.
That doesn't surprise me as much. There's probably a bunch of customs crap to go through.
Yeah.
But
at least one person when they messaged me, my response was, "Oh, when you do," because I think they mentioned they were going to unbox it on YouTube or something. I was like, "Oh, you have to do it in front of a fireplace and an easy chair."
or a customs official, depending on the circumstances.
Yeah. I don't think as funny as it is, I don't think anyone's stupid enough to try the ice cream. And I imagine that an intermediary that gets a frozen pack box would just go, "Oh, hell no."
They just eat the ice cream and send
because you have to remember
it.
They're going to get the box and it's going to be clear it's a frozen pack box, and then they're going to be responsible for what happens when it's sent. I cannot imagine anyone will deal that.
It is just ice cream at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like,
and here's the thing.
It's not worth it.
The funny thing is we actually know enough about the ice cream that there is no specialized stuff there. It's all stuff you can do yourself. Right. Minus maybe the rolling thing. I don't know many people who have that flat ice thing. Although I always see people posting videos about those on Facebook and elsewhere. Okay, looks like that's about it for questions. Our last show for the year is going to be the 18th. We're definitely not doing a show the 1st. I assume we'll do a show the 2nd.
I think I can do the show the 2nd.
Yeah, we'll see if Dev can also. That's a bit away. So our last show.
What day of the week is that?
Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm usually off on Tuesday, so that should be fine.
Yeah, we'll see a bit closer to it. So we have one more show for the year. We will see if anything pops up. It's hard to know. AR, what have you been up to and what shall you be up to?
I've got one ask I still need to work on. It's really an interesting question that I need to think about for a little while, which is how likely would each of the season's teams get together as friends if they didn't have this Digimon thing bringing them together? Like, what are the odds that they'd actually meet and hang out together? That's a tricky one to parse through.
Based on how you parse the ages, it becomes more interesting.
Right. Like, most of them would be like, they wouldn't.
Yeah, it's like based on how you parse based on like how old's Taichi, because you're not gonna have him doing stuff with Masaru realistically.
No, I mean each season together. Like the Adventure Kids, how likely would they be a single unit?
That's what I mean. Like, the kids in the show.
Yeah, within the seasons. If the Digimon wasn't a factor.
Okay.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
Actually, that one I could run through pretty easily, honestly. Adventure, a lot of them actually would be because they knew each other anyways.
Yeah, Adventure would be okay. 02, not bad. Beyond that's a question.
Tamers, you could see them running into each other. Frontier, probably not. Data Squad, not at all.
Absolutely not.
Cross Wars, technically speaking, most of them already knew each other anyways.
Well, three of them knew each other. Yeah. But it's like then you get like Kyria is the wild card in that one.
Atmon, weirdly, I could see them largely still hitting into each other roughly the same.
I don't know about that.
Because they're all kind of stupid clunkheads. Like I could still
there's a bunch of other stupid clunkheads in that series that Haru can gravitate towards without meeting Astra.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like Astra going off and doing stupid YouTube shit means they could still bump into each other, and then something still happens. Is what I mean.
Maybe.
Then after Atmon, we have Adventure 2020. Weirdly,
that's a harder one.
That's
a harder one than regular OG Adventure.
That may be the hardest one actually, because that one's maybe the hardest one. Ghost Game's weird because there's only 3 kids. 2 of them knew each other anyways, and I feel like the framing device of really running around like a crazy person, you could easily have her run into them somehow. Especially, so that's actually.
Well, at the same time, the whole series, Hero's friends are going, why are you hanging around her? Like, why are you 2 friends?
But that's also like the thing of they don't understand why a girl would hang around him.
Yes, it's dumb, but
that's the thing but that's also because everyone sees her as like cool when she's running around like a crazy person looking for ghosts when she sees monsters every week.
She's the batshit insane one.
No, that's my point. Is I could see her running into him and then dragging him along for shit anyways because he's useful.
It's like, hey, do you know how to pick locks? Good, you're coming with me.
No, exactly. Because here's the thing: they're even like, oh, no one knows how to do all this weird shit Hero does. You're coming with me, kid. What do you mean, kid? I'm older than you are.
It's my dress-up girlfriend, but for YouTubers.
Oh, that's fuck. That's so accurate. It's painful. And Dev, what Wikimon article do you like people to read?
Moosemon.
And
I can be found with the will as always.
I'm surprised you didn't go with Zubamon on that one.
I
felt like the choice.
I had to stop myself because I was going to tell her one wasn't allowed because I'm pretty sure she's used it in the holiday season like 3 times. Is the Christmas Drymon.
That's for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we already did that.
Yeah.
But Moosemon is also festive, and I kind of want a moose to, stamp all my customers to death.
And that's our Clerks reference for the week. So we will catch you all later. Thank you everyone for showing up. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.